Hi, this is Professor CC19, and we are already in mid-November, which means we are entering the home stretch of the year, coming towards December, towards Christmas, towards New Year's Eve, and it also means we're coming towards the 2019 Algolympic preseason, which begins with a first race special in late December. And there's going to be a lot of new features added for the 2019 games, a series of preseason duels, a preseason tournament, and a qualification round because of one main addition, and this is probably the most anticipated addition. The addition of 4 entirely new teams to the roster, which means we now have a total of 20 colorful teams competing in the Algolympics. Since only 16 can compete in the main games, there will be a qualification round in 2019 to determine the 16 out of 20 that do qualify and will participate. So today, I am going to be announcing the names and colors of our 4 new teams, with one of them being quite surprising. But before I do that, I have another update regarding the 2018 Summer Marble Algolympic main games and the overall standings. Now, this is rather important, fortunately not crucial to the overall standings, but yeah, I'm kind of lucky here that this didn't really change anything. Over the past couple months, the Algolympics has been one of my favorites when it comes to series on my channel. It has outperformed my Candy Crush videos, or at least most of them. And I have gotten a lot of comments about the overall standings and how close the race was. And one in particular seemed to notice a few things that I had missed when it came to the scoring system, or when it came to the scoring system in a couple of the events. So I became my own editor, really. I looked back, watched closely in some of my videos, and noticed that, yeah, there were 2 mistakes that I had made when it comes to the overall standings. Now, like I said, fortunately, these mistakes do not affect the overall standings in any way. So, all of the contestants and all the teams are in the right slots. But there are a couple point discrepancies when it comes to the Minter Greens, Team Transparent, and the Grayscales, going back to events 7 and 10. So, let's see here. I'm going to hit a key on my keyboard, bring up, let's see, Google Chrome, my browser. Now, this is my YouTube page, and I've brought up 2018 Summer Marble Algolympics Event 7, which was BMX cycling, a rather contested event, because I had to end it before the teams could finish to fit time constraints. I ended it when the first team touched the ending. And I agree that that might not have been the best way, but I had to keep it in the time constraints, and it was the most fair I could think of. I also gave the orators a bonus point because technically they were tied with the fireballs. But there was something I had completely missed, and it doesn't have anything to do with the system. It has to do with my eyes just kind of played a trick on me. In the rankings for this event, you can see Brownies finished first, Azure Royals second, Team Moonglow third. The orators of the fireballs tied for 4th, so that's really 4th and 5th, and then the Yellow Fellows were 6th. You can see here on the left edge of your screen, Team Transparent and their bike coming up the hill, behind 6th place, which means they must have been 7th. But, I had made a mistake in that video, and if I go to the scoring, you can see we have Brownies, Azure Royals all the way down, but I gave the Grayscales 7th place instead of Team Transparent. That is a mistake. Team Transparent should have gotten 9 points, and the Grayscales 8. So I'm going to go back into Algodo, and I'm going to adjust that. So Team Transparent would have gotten 1 extra point. That means they would have been at 126, and the Grayscales would have gotten 1 fewer points, or point, and would have dropped to 106. Alright, so that is the first mistake I'd made. Like I say, it does not affect the scoring at all. Well, yeah, it affects the scoring, but it does not affect the ranking and final lineup at all. But if I go back in, there is one other mistake I made, and this one happens to be in Event 10. Okay, it's not appearing here. Alright, so I'm going to pause the recording and bring up the video for Event number 10,
which was the collision. Alright, here first of all is the introduction to event number 10, where you might be able to spot the mistake. Now, in regards to the Mintergreens, and this is after event number 9, going into event number 10, they were in second place with a score of 105. But watch what happens when I go to the end of event 10. Alright, here it is. I loaded up this next video, which is event 10, part 2 at the end, and you can see where Mintergreens finished. They finished in 7th, which would have given them 9 points. Now, a second ago you saw they were at 105, and if they added 9, that means their score should have been 114 points after event 10. But an oversight on my part led to this. This is the end of the video, and third place is Mintergreens with a score of 113. So I accidentally underscored them by 1 point. So I did not mean to do that. Once again, I say that. So I'm going to go back in. They would have gotten 1 bonus point, and this is how close it becomes. Because their final score would not have been 130, it would have been 131. So, without them really knowing that, it was kind of a painful defeat, and a very narrow win for the Fireballs. The Fireballs still are the official Algolympic champions, 132, but they only won over Mintergreens by 1 point. Mintergreens really got 131. Alright, so these are the updated and now official, so these are the official overall standings now. Thank you to the viewers for viewing and for spotting my mistakes. I hopefully can become my own editor more often. Maybe I can spot the mistakes first. But yeah, these are the corrected scores, and hopefully I won't have any problems like this again. But unfortunately, it did not affect anything. Fireballs still are winners, followed by Mintergreens and Azure Royals. Team Transparent also in the top 4, and that means that those 4 teams are guaranteed qualification in 2019. So, 2019, you will be seeing Fireballs, Mintergreens, Azure Royals, and Team Transparent for the main games. But now, here comes the question, who else will you be seeing? So I'm going to come over here, and there are a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to our competitors. Now, you may notice that a lot of things are the same, but there are a couple things that are different. Now, if you watched Captain's Creed, you will have noticed that Crimson Crusaders have changed team captains. They have Conqueror as their team captain. I honestly think that was a pretty good decision, considering they were the winners of Captain's Creed. But it is not the only change that we've experienced. Team Transparent, for one, has not changed any of the marble competitors, but they have changed the look of their team. If you zoom in here, T-Green, as you can see, is a much lighter green than what we saw in the 2018 main games, and they are all more transparent than they were before. So it was more like Team Translucent of sorts for 2018, but yeah, they have made themselves lighter. That is the new look, and they really are transparent now. You can hardly see them. So yeah, that is the updated Team Transparent with the new look. And the other big change comes from a team that is already qualified. They finished in 3rd place. I'm talking about, of course, the Azure Royals. And they were so close. They won 5 medals. They were so close to winning the main games. So, coming in 3rd, even doing that well, they wanted to make some improvements in the hopes of winning in 2019. And one of the improvements they made was completely eliminating the worst member. And that would be Queen. She did not work very well with Duke in event number 2. They ended up getting 15th. She participated in event number 6. They also finished in 15th. And those 2 performances were the worst the Azure Royals had in the entire series. So they made an executive decision, and sadly Queen is no longer a member of the Azure Royals. And now we have a new all-male team of King, Prince, Duke, and Bishop. Bishop is the newest member of the Azure Royals, replacing Queen. He moves to the back of the lineup, being the newest member. So Prince is now the 2nd marble, Duke the 3rd, King is still the team captain. But yeah, Azure Royals, all-male team now. They are hoping that this change will allow them a win in 2019. Alright, now comes the big reveal. We have an updated score standings. We have our updated current teams. But now it's time to reveal the new teams. So here we go. I'm going to zoom into this bottom area. And this is where it gets interesting. A couple of these are kind of predicted because, well, during the test runs for the intros in the main games, I kind of gave away two of these teams. But let's see here. The first new team added for 2019 is the Foresters. That classic dark green that I mentioned during the test runs in many of the intros. The Foresters are the dark green team that are going to be added for 2019. Their members: Evergreen, Redwood, Dogwood, and Sequoia. Now, for the other one I kind of gave away, I couldn't just use the Foresters in the head-to-head sports. So I used another new team, which is going to be participating in the 2019 season. They are the Gold Globes, this cross between yellow and orange, this deep golden team. Gold Globes consisting of glitter, glimmer, glossy, and glare. I used them for the head-to-head examples for the event intros in 2018, and they are a new team participating in 2019. And now for the two that I did not give away. I'll go to this one first. The third new team in 2019 is the Aquamarines, the cross between blue and green. The Aquamarines are Captain, Commander, Admiral, and Lieutenant. They are the third brand new team. And that means that there is one final. Now, for this final team, I couldn't really decide what I should do. Should I do a very light color or a very dark colored team? Because all three of these, except for the Foresters, are kind of in the middle. Moderate colors, not that light, not that dark. But I couldn't make up my mind between the final two. So, our final team is our very first dual-colored team. Not like Team Transparent that has a common connection of them all being transparent. This is the first team that has two marbles of one color and two marbles of another. Representing the forces of nature, please welcome our final new team, team number 20, the Mystic Twisters. Midnight, Lightning, Thunder, and Sunspot, consisting of two very deep blue midnight marbles and two very light yellowish-white cream color marbles to represent the forces of nature. Midnight and Thunder for the darkness, Lightning and Sunspot for the brightness. Alright, Aquamarines, Foresters, Gold Globes, and the Mystic Twisters. Those are the four newest teams for 2019, and the 2019 preseason will start December 25th, Christmas Day 2018, with the very first preseason duel, the very first of 10 for the 2019 preseason, one of the new features added on to fill the wait to the main games in July of 2019. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Professor CC19, hoping to get as much accuracy as I can. Those scores are corrected, the teams are updated, and we have these new teams. Like I said, expect Christmas Day, duel number 1. It's going to be a head-to-head battle between two marbles of different teams for Christmas, and I'm not going to say who exactly, but they will be Christmas colors. Alright, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see the main games for 2018, click the link in the description, and don't forget to subscribe for more.